guys, and welcome back on my channel. Today I wanted to do something fun. I wanted to show you and talk about some child-free memes. So I'm going to be looking down at my computer so I can see the memes because I'm filming on my phone. But I'm going to jump right into the video, so I really hope that you enjoy it, guys. And again, if there's some background noises, I'm in the same room as my pets. You're just going to have to live with that. So starting with the first meme. When I find out most of the people I know are having kids, I immediately think of this. So you ruined your life. So I think this is kind of funny. Because people who should not have had kids or was not prepared for how hard it is, they will actually have ruined their lives. Oh, I just love this meme so much. She's so excited about the kitty cat, she's so excited about the dog, she's so excited about the cactus. This could almost be me. I love pets, I love plants, and then there's just a baby and she's just holding a cross and being like, "Go away, demon!" That's kind of funny. So she does all these things, but a kid is not one of them. And I think a lot of child-free people feel the same way about this. That they don't know how to act around children and they get uncertain around children, and it doesn't come natural to them to be around kids and be around babies. So if I'm laughing before I have even said them, it's because I found them, so I know what memes says before I read them up. So if I laugh before I read them, that's why. Christmas tip. Wrap empty boxes and put them under the tree. Every time your child acts up, throw one in the fireplace. So I just think this is very funny for child-free people because they're probably not so good at handling kids and their tantrums. So yeah, I just think this is pretty funny because they aren't actually destroying the kids' gifts, but the kid thinks that they are destroying their gifts. Another one says, Twitter is brutal. This woman said, "There's just something in me that would die if I willingly walked into a clinic to get rid of my baby." And someone replied, "Yeah, that's the point." So honestly, I don't know a lot about abortions, but I know that you only have a certain point until you can no longer get an abortion. That's because when you get over that point, the baby really starts developing, so it starts becoming a human being, and before that it's kind of a blob of meat, so it isn't really a human being yet. So I think that this is kind of funny. And I'm also thinking of what episode of SpongeBob this is, because I know as a kid I really loved watching SpongeBob, and I don't think I've ever seen this episode. I haven't seen all of SpongeBob, and I don't know if they continued making SpongeBob when I was no longer a kid, but I haven't seen this episode, so I'm kind of just thinking like, what episode is that? Burning sage and the kids start whining. I can't breathe. I bet you can. Demons. Again, I think this is funny because again, it's humor and I don't actually think the kids are demons, but I think they are kind of hard to handle and be around at times. And they can be really challenging. This is also a really great one. We're planning to buy a house. That's a big commitment. Can you really afford it? Do you have a stable job? Did you even give it a thought? We're planning to have a baby. Congratulations. Don't worry, there's never a perfect time to have kids. God will provide. Children are always a blessing. So I think this is a really good one because we don't talk enough about how big a responsibility kids are. Most people are just happy when some other person is pregnant. And I think this is the wrong way to handle it because you do have to have a lot of resources to have a kid. Both so you can handle having the kid, but also so the kid gets a good life. So you can't just get pregnant. I think this is so wrong. You really have to think it through. Do I have the resources? Do I want to have kids? Am I going to be a good parent? Are my partner going to be a good parent? There's so many things you have to think about. So this thing was just acceptable to just get pregnant and just get a kid. I also think that's very wrong. And I love the comparison that when you have to buy a house that people talk more in depth with you about how how big commitment it is and how serious it is. But when it's about kids, they're just happy you're pregnant, and this is really wrong. So you're one of those selfish people who doesn't want children. Selfish towards whom exactly? The baby. What baby? The one that doesn't exist. So saying that people are selfish for having kids, yeah, it might actually be right, but you are also very selfish when you have kids, because it's probably a need that you wanted to. The kid did not necessarily want to be brought into this world, but you decided for it, that it had to be born. So you're kind of the one that are deciding all these things, and that also makes you selfish. So I think it's weird that you're calling a child-free person selfish when you're probably selfish yourself because you've gotten kids because you wanted to have them. So I think it's weird. But we're kind of all selfish when it comes to this, so it's just weird. And it's also okay to be selfish sometimes, especially when you're selfish and you don't want kids and you really thought this thing through. I think a lot of people, not a lot of people, but some people that gets kids have not thought it through, and then it's, in my opinion, really selfish and really irresponsible if you don't think it through, and if you don't know if you have the resource and you don't know if you're going to be a good parent. That's really selfish to me. Really thinking about it and knowing that you won't be a good kind of parent, choosing not to have kids, that's a good kind of selfish. And it's actually also kind of selfless, because you're thinking of the human being you're brought into the world. If you were to have kids and you thought, okay, I cannot handle this, that is selfless for me, because then there's no kids suffering and then there's no parents suffering. So that's just great all around. Aren't you afraid you'll regret not having children? Will you regret not being a banker? I never wanted that, to be a banker, right? So it's just about people always questioning if we will regret not having kids. And if you don't want them, what is there to regret? If you at all regret it, if you know you didn't want them, it's going to probably be a small regret. Because if you will listen to yourself and know that you don't want kids, then you're probably not going to regret it. Again, no one knows. We cannot say 10 years from now how I'll feel, but I can just say how I'll feel right now, you know? Really, why would you get tattoos? They're expensive and painful to get, and they are permanent. Also family, have a baby! This is kind of what we talked about before, that people say that you have to think through other things, but they don't really talk about how you have to think through having a baby. That is really a serious commitment. People just think like, yeah, you can just pop a baby out and everyone will be happy. And we really have to think such a big decision through. So again, I think this is a great one too. When someone asks you to hold a baby. And that's the Lord Voldemort. Okay, I think babies can be really cute, but I do not want to hold your baby. I do not feel comfortable with that at all. I can appreciate the kid if it's a cute one from a distance. I do not need the kid to be close to me. That's just how I feel personally. But I think this is kind of because a lot of people think that a lot of babies are ugly, especially when they've just been born. And the parents are always like, oh, it's my precious baby, it's so beautiful. And a lot of people are like, nah, it isn't. I love this so much. So if you don't know this about me, I really, really want a cat. That's one of my big dreams, to live in a place where we can get a cat. And changing the baby to a cat, that would be amazing. You just put it in, and then you get a cat out instead. That would just be amazing if you could do that. Like, I've changed my mind, I want a cat instead. Kids are permanent. You can't change your mind about it. Of course, you can always adopt your kid out, but I don't think that's right to do. Because you have brought the kid into this world, and it's not fair that it has to start all over and get a new family just because you found out later that you could not handle having a kid. Oh, these are my kids. Oh yeah? Check out my kids. That's just money. Exactly. So yeah, I think a lot of people have more money when they don't have kids. And that makes a lot of sense because kids are expensive. Just like if you have a pet, you're also going to have less money. But a pet isn't as expensive, and they also bring you a lot of joy. I don't know if a kid would bring me any joy, to be honest. Just think a kid would bring me a lot of frustrations. Don't worry about it. My dreams were shattered years ago. How many years ago? How old are you? So yeah, I also think it's kind of funny because I think a lot of people don't have the time to really focus on themselves when they get a kid, because the responsible thing to do is to focus on the kids, and then they kind of forget themselves and their dreams when they're a parent. So I also think this is kind of funny. Oh, but I think all of these are funny because I'm the one who has saved them, so I can show you them in this video. So yeah, of course I think they're funny. When a baby offers you a Cheeto Puff, then there's just this really nasty hand, and you never know where kids' hands have been. So yeah, I can totally relate to this, and I would never take like anything and eat it from a kid. That could be pretty dang nasty. You never know where it have been. Perfectly valid choice of parenting. Perfectly valid choice of parenting. So one has dog and one has kids. I don't agree that you're parenting when you have a pet instead of a kid. A kid, you parent them. But I wouldn't say you parent a dog, you have to train it, but you don't, it's not the same thing. So I agree what they're trying to say is that it's okay if you don't want a kid, but I wouldn't say having pets and caring for them is the same as parenting. Pets are furry children that never ask for money, the car or a phone, and they are always glad to see you. Yes, this is so true. Wow, this is just very true. Pets are me and my boyfriend's kids because we don't want kids. we love pets. And if you also love pets or you have a pet channel, I'm just going to leave it up in the iCard. So you can go see that if you're interested in what we have right now, or guinea pigs and hamsters. So that's what I talk about on that channel. So if you want to go see that, you can do that. I would really appreciate it. But yeah, going back into the memes. Women, society, when are you gonna have children? This is so true. I don't know why people feel that it's alright to always question a woman when she's going to have kids. It's not alright to ask for. It's pretty rude to always ask a person when you're going to have kids. That would be like me asking a person when you're going to get a dog. Or something like that. It's really rude. And it's really, really rude. Them, why don't you want kids? Me, the kids. So kids acting up and having temper tantrums and being really loud and all this, I hate it. So this is so relatable. I will never fully recover from my daughter pulling down my shorts and exposing my bare ass and pushing in the middle of Panera bed this morning. And then one of the comments is, one woman's misfortune is another woman's birth control. So yeah. I could never recover from this either. If this happened to me, that would be so really, really, really embarrassing. I personally just think it's really embarrassing when you have to go to like the indoors places where you can go swimming. I think it's really awkward when you have to go there and you have to wash your body before you get into your swimsuit and go in to swim. You have to bathe before you go in and swim. And I just think it's so awkward that you have to stand there with other women naked. I'm just like, please give me some privacy. I don't want other people to see my body besides me and my boyfriend. I don't care if you're a man, I don't care if you're a woman. I don't want you to see my body. I think it's so awkward. I really love swimming, but I really, really hate that you have to change and take a shower before you go in. And you have to do it in front of other women. I get that this is the most hygienic thing to do, but I just don't want to be naked in front of other people. That's just so awkward. Oh my god. Poor woman. But kids don't understand things like this yet, so that's tough. Let's have a baby! And then the world is just exploding outside. And I think this is a great one, because I think another big reason for me and my boyfriend to not have kids is the world today, because it's crazy. The world today is honestly crazy, and it's kind of reflects that people don't think it through when they have kids. They just kind of do it. Not everyone. I'm just going to say not everyone, but some people really don't think it through. And this meme is really great when it comes to that. This meme really explains that in a visual way. Reasons cats are better than babies. When you're done holding cats, you can just drop them on the floor. I would never like drop a cat on the floor. Like this, to drop any living being on the floor just isn't right for me. But I get where this meme is going, and why cats definitely are better. There's a million reasons that cats are better than kids. For one, they're self-sufficient, they're easy to care for. What could be better than having kids? Me. Silence and money. Yes, definitely. Silence. The silence is the big one for me. The money isn't the big one for me because I don't have that much money to begin with. So it's not like having a kid. It will make me poorer, of course. I'll have less money. But that isn't the big thing for me. The big thing is silence. A group of kids is called a migraine. Oh, honestly, this is so relatable to me because I just talked about the whole silence thing. And I just think when you have been around a lot of small kids, you're just like in your bed afterwards, just relaxing because it's just so overwhelming being around kids. So yeah, a group of kids is called a migraine. So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. It's a little longer than the ones I typically make. I often talk about a little more serious themes, but I thought it's also great to have humor in life in general. So I really hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you're new here, please subscribe if you want to, of course, and please stick around. I would love to have you. Please comment down below and like. I love when people start a debate down below. Of course, just do it in a friendly way. And if you're new here, my name is Catherine, and on this channel I talk about whatever I feel like. I'm just unapologetically me on this channel, so I talk about whatever I feel like. So if you're staying here, you're staying for the different topics I'm debating, but hopefully you're staying here for my personality, because that's what's going to be shining through in my videos, because my videos are about whatever I feel like talking about. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you soon. Bye, guys.